Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss about the inner transition elements, that is about F block. Now F block consists of two series. One is called lanthanoids and the other is called actinides. Okay. Now lanthanoids are those 15 elements which come after lanthanum. Okay. Similarly, actinides are those 15 elements which come after actinium. Now, when we study these lanthanides or actinides, then in lanthanides we discuss lanthanum also along with 14 lanthanides. Similarly, we take actinium also when we discuss actinides, because they also resemble with those next 14 elements, just like lanthanum also resembles in its properties with lanthanoids. So what we do, we while discuss lanthanoids, we take lanthanum also along with that. Okay. So all the lanthanides except lanthanum is denoted by La, and all other lanthanides are denoted by Ln. So in general, Ln is the symbol given for lanthanoids. Okay. Now lanthanoids resemble one another more closely than do the members of ordinary transition elements. Now see, when we talk about transition element series, then whatever similarities we saw in transition elements, in case of lanthanoids, we see more resemblance, more similarity in the properties. Okay. Now they have only one stable oxidation state. We are talking about lanthanoids. They have only one stable oxidation state, and so because of this we can study their properties very properly. Okay. Now if we talk about actinoids, then study of actinoids is little bit complicated because they show a wide range of oxidation states. Okay. So in this particular slide, what we discussed, we just discussed that lanthanum is included in next 14 lanthanoids, actinium is included in next 14 actinoids because of similarity in properties. Okay. Now lanthanoids discussion is easier because they include only few oxidation states. There is existence of one oxidation state in all the lanthanoids, so their discussion is easier. But in case of actinoids, they show variety of oxidation states, so their study is little bit difficult. Okay. Okay. Now let us start with lanthanoids. First of all, let us discuss about its electronic configuration. Okay. Now see, in case of lanthanoids, there is addition of electrons in 4s energy level. So when we see all the elements belonging to lanthanoid series, then we will see that 6s2 will be filled for all, and there will be different number of electrons in 4f orbital. Okay. Now the most stable oxidation state of lanthanoids is +3. This is the most stable oxidation state of lanthanoids. So when we talk about tri-positive ions, means those lanthanoids in which oxidation state is +3, then for them what will be there? They all will be having electronic configuration of the form 4Fn, where n value will be ranging from 1 to 14. Okay. So electronic configuration is 6s2 is everywhere for all the lanthanoids, and there is variation in number of electrons in 4f orbital. And in +3 oxidation state, there will be just 4f orbital in the valence shell, in which number of electrons will vary from 1 to 14. Okay. Now let us see this. Now see, these are the 14 elements which come after lanthanum. So lanthanum is also included in this because of similarity in properties with other next 14 elements. So you can see C is the symbol of cerium, Pr is praseodymium, praseodymium, Nd is neodymium, Pm is promethium, Sm is samarium, Eu is europium, Gd is gadolinium, Tb is terbium, Dy is dysprosium, Ho is holmium, Er is erbium, Tm is thulium, Yb is ytterbium, Lu is lutetium. So the very important which you have to learn is lanthanum, you know, cerium and lutetium. Okay, this is the first element of lanthanoid series, cerium, and lutetium is the last element of the lanthanoid series. Now if you see, then there is addition of electron in 4f orbital. Here it starts from 1 until last it goes to 14. Now here for this Ln is the basic element. Ln2 positive is when 2 electrons are removed, Ln3 positive is when 3 electrons are removed. So for all these ions, they have shown how many electrons will be there in the valence shell. Okay, so here you need to learn few names and symbols like Ce, cerium, Pr is praseodymium, Nd is neodymium, Pm is promethium, Sm is samarium, Eu is europium. So we are going to use these words ahead, so you need to know it. Tb is terbium, Dy is dysprosium, okay, Yb is ytterbium, and Lu is lutetium. Okay, so now let us discuss about the second property. Okay, now see, this is very important property, atomic and ionic sizes. Here one very important question comes, what do we mean by lanthanoid contraction? The question comes, what do you mean by lanthanoid contraction? What is its cause? What is its cause and what are its consequences? Okay, so this question is most important. So first of all, what is lanthanoid contraction? Or in general, if we talk about lanthanoid series, then atomic and ionic sizes, when we start moving from lanthanum to lutetium, what happens? There is decrease in the size of elements. Okay, so when we start moving from lanthanum to lutetium, this decrease is steady decrease, small decrease and steady decrease. This steady decrease in the size of lanthanoids on moving from left to right with the increase in atomic number is termed as lanthanoid contraction. Okay, now what is its cause? So its cause is that there is addition of electron in 4f orbital, and we know that shielding effect of f orbital is minimum. So because of this, the effect of nucleus on the outermost electrons is more, and because of that, size keeps on decreasing. Okay, so this is the cause of lanthanoid contraction. Now what are the consequences? You have to remember three very important consequences of lanthanoid contraction. Very first is that there is difficulty in the separation of lanthanoids. Now why there is difficulty in separation of lanthanoids? Because when we see their atomic and ionic sizes, then we find that there is not much difference in their sizes. So because of less difference in their atomic sizes, when we find those in the nature in earth crust, then they are found together, and it is very difficult to separate those elements separately. Okay, so it is very difficult because of their similarity in sizes. Now just like see zirconium and hafnium, they are having just 1 picometer difference in their sizes, in their radius. So because of this very minute difference, it will be very difficult when this will be found in nature. So they both will be together and it will be very difficult to separate them. Okay, so one of the consequences of lanthanoid contraction is difficulty in the separation of lanthanoids. Second consequence is, which we have discussed earlier also, that when we see the sizes of 4D and 5D series, now see in transition elements what was there, 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. So So when we see the sizes of 4D and 5D series, then they are found comparable. They are almost same, or we can say that when we move from 4D to 5D, then there is not that much increase in the size as we can expect. So this is because of lengthenite contraction. And one more very important property is their basic character. Now see, when we start moving from lanthanum and we see their hydroxides, then lanthanum hydroxide is LaOH whole thrice and lutetium hydroxide is LuOH whole thrice. Okay. Now see, there is +3 oxidation state. Now when we move from this end to this end, then what happens? There is decrease in the size. So because of decrease in the size, release of OH group is maximum in case of LaOH whole thrice, and it becomes minimum in case of LuOH whole thrice. What does it mean? It means LaOH whole thrice is most basic, it will be most basic, and LuOH whole thrice will be least basic. Okay. Why? Because LuOH whole thrice will have metal OH bond length very less. So because of lesser bond length, it will be difficult to remove OH group. So that will show lesser basic character. And in case of LaOH whole thrice, what will be there? LaOH bond length will be larger. So removal of OH will be easier as compared to LuOH whole thrice. So that will be more basic in nature. So these are the three main consequences of lanthanide contraction. Now see, in this diagram you can see one thing. These are the 14 elements of 4F series or lanthanides. Now see, if you see their size, then what we can see? See, this is the size. It is near about 107 and picometer. This is in picometer units, and this is near about 85 picometer. So what we can say, that there is presence of 14 elements, but the difference in total difference or total gap of the size is very less. See, it is near about 26 or 30 picometer. So what we can say, that there is decrease in the size, but that decrease is very slow decrease, very low decrease, and this is steady decrease. It is continuous decrease and it is low decrease. Okay. So this steady decrease in the size of lanthanides, when we start moving from left to right side with the increasing atomic number, is called lanthanide contraction. Okay. Now let us discuss second property. Now what about oxidation states? Now see, in case of lanthanides, there are two types of compounds. One where the oxidation state value is +2, and the other where oxidation state value is +3. Now see, we have written 3 oxidation state for Ln. Ln stands for lanthanides. For lanthanum it is +2 also, and it shows +3 also. Okay. So the thing is that +3 is most common oxidation state for all the lanthanides, but except this, +2 and +4 oxidation states are also shown. Now why do they show +2 and +4 oxidation states? Because when it is done, then either our f orbital becomes empty, or it becomes half filled, or it becomes fully filled, and in all the three cases it makes that more stable. So if there is change in valence shell and it acquires more stable form, then it can show +2 or +4 oxidation state also. Okay, just like in case of cerium, if we are saying that it exists as cerium 4, then what does it mean? It means that when it is occupying +4 oxidation state, then it is coming in noble gas configuration. Okay. Now if it is existing in +4 oxidation state, then what will happen? It will act as strong oxidant. Now what is oxidant? Oxidant is showing oxidizing agent character. What is oxidizing agent? Which can bring about oxidation in any other substance. So it will undergo reduction itself. Okay. So when it is existing as +4 oxidation state, when it is acting as oxidant, then it will change its oxidation state to +3. Okay, so whatever other oxidation states are there which are obtained by lanthanides like +2 or +4, then either they will act as reducing agent or they will act as oxidizing agent, and they will ultimately occupy the state +3. Okay, now just like if we talk about PR, ND, TB, DY, then they also show +4 oxidation state. Okay, but in which type of compounds they show? In the oxides they show. Now see, Eu2 positive, this ion is formed when there is loss of 2 electrons, and those 2 electrons are lost from s orbital. Okay, and if it does so, then it changes to F7 configuration. So we can say that Eu2 positive exists, or we can say that europium shows +2 oxidation state. Okay, so sometimes question is asked like that although +3 is the most common oxidation state for lanthanides, but this lanthanide shows +2 oxidation state or +4 oxidation state. Why? Then we have to remember that that particular element will undergo either in fully filled f orbital or half filled f orbital. Just like in case of Eu2 positive, after losing 2 electrons, it changes to F7 configuration. So it is extra stable. That is why it is possible. Similarly, YB2 positive, this ion when exists in +2 oxidation state, it forms F14 configuration. Okay, so the basic thing is that +3 is the most common oxidation state, and besides +3 oxidation state, they also show +2 or +4 oxidation state, and whenever they do so, then either they change into empty or half filled or fully filled f orbital. Okay, and when they show such type of oxidation state, then they will come to +3 oxidation state either by showing oxidant behavior or reductant behavior. Okay, now let us discuss their general properties, how they look like. Now all the lanthanides, they are silvery white soft metals. They are silvery white, and they tarnish in air. When they are kept in open, then air spoils them, means whatever their own shine or own color is, that gets faded away. Okay, now they are hard, and their hardness increases with increasing atomic number. Samarium, if we talk about samarium, which has symbol Sm, okay, this is very hard, and it is just like hardness is just like steel. Just like steel is hard, similar is the hardness in samarium. Now their melting points range from 1000 to 1200 Kelvin, but samarium melts at 1623 Kelvin. Okay, they have typical metallic structure and are good conductor of heat and electricity. So if we talk about lanthanides, then they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, now if we talk about density or other properties, then there is a particular trend in these properties, either in properly increasing or decreasing, but exceptional cases are EU, YB or SM, TM. So there are few exceptions also. Otherwise, there is a regular change in those properties. Okay, many trivalent lanthanide ions are colored. Okay, now see, if we talk about colorfulness, then we will say that these are colorful. Many are colorful. Why they are colorful? Because of presence of unpaired electron in f orbital. Okay, so in this whole discussion, what we will say, that there is presence of unpaired electron in f orbital in case of lanthanides, so they show some color, or they are colored. Now if we talk about La3 positive or Ce4 positive, then what we will see from their electronic configuration, we will see that there is vacant f orbital. If there is vacant f orbital, then they will not show any color. Okay, now if we talk about Yb2 positive or lutetium-3 positive, then also in those cases they will have fully filled f orbital. Now in this case also, what is there? There is no unpaired electron so they will also not be colored. Okay, so what we will say, two properties are there, color and magnetic property. If there is presence of unpaired electron, then we say that the particular species will show some color, and second thing we say that that is paramagnetic in nature. So what we are saying, that almost all lanthanides are paramagnetic except the ions formed by lanthanum, cerium, ytterbium and lutetium. Okay, now what about chemical properties, how lanthanides react with other elements? Now when we react lanthanums or lanthanides with acids, then what happens, there is formation of hydrogen gas. Just like acids, just like active metals liberate hydrogen from their acids, similarly lanthanoids, they react with acids and liberate hydrogen gas. Okay, they combine with oxygen and they form its oxide. They combine with sulfur and form sulfides. With nitrogen also nitrides are formed. With carbon also they form carbides, and with halogen also they form halides, trihalides. Now see, this is the most important property. When they combine with water, they form their basic hydroxide. Okay, so in all, if you will see, there will be most common oxygen state plus 3. Okay, now one more thing, what is the use of lanthanides? So there are few very important uses. So very important use is the production of alloy steels. Okay, it is, they are used in forming alloys. A very important alloy is Miss Metal. It is important question, it has been asked many times. What is Miss Metal? Miss Metal contains three things. One is any lanthanoid, which will be having 95% of the total, near about 95%, and iron will be there near about 5%, and few amount, little amount will be there of sulfur, carbon, calcium or aluminium. Okay, there will be few little traces. Okay, so it means total will be 100%. So 95% near about means it will be less than 95%, but it will be more than 94%. Similarly, iron is approximately 5%, means at the maximum it will be 5%, or it will be slightly lesser than that, and whatever less percentage is left out, that will be of sulfur, carbon, calcium and aluminium. Okay, so Miss Metal is the mixture of these things. Now if we talk about Miss Metal, then it is very much useful if we make its alloy with magnesium. Then we can use that particular alloy to produce bullets, shell and lighter flints. Okay, if we take oxides of lanthanoids, okay, if we take oxides of lanthanoids, then they are used as catalyst in cracking and reforming. These two reactions you have done in 11th standard. So cracking process is carried out in the presence of oxides of lanthanoids. Okay, similarly, one more important use is that these lanthanoids, their oxides, they are used as phosphors. What are phosphors? Phosphors means those substances which can produce phosphorescence. Now what is phosphorescence? When certain rays or light or particles strike with them, microparticles, then they produce glow, that is called phosphorescence. Okay, so where it can be used? In television screens. Okay, in television screens they can be used. Okay, fluorescence and phosphorescence, this is one and the same thing. Okay, so this way they can be used. Now let us talk about actinoids. Okay, now see, actinoids, now we are including actinium in this. So after actinium there are 14 elements which are actinoids. Okay, so here one thing is to be noted. In general we will say that actinoids are those substances, those elements in which there is addition of electron in 5f orbital. So one thing which is to be noted is, in case of first actinoid, which one? Thorium, there is no electron in f orbital. Okay, if we talk about its ground state, then there will be 6d2 7s2. This will be its valence shell. For all other elements in their ground state, there will be electron in the 5f orbital. Okay. Now, what about their properties? If we talk about lanthanoids, then they are not radioactive elements, but all the actinoids, they are radioactive. All actinoids are radioactive elements, and since they are radioactive, so they will be having half-life. What is half-life? You know, that time during which the concentration of a particular substance remains half of the initial value, that is called half-life. So their half-life values, they range from 1 day to 3 minutes. Just like for lawrencium, which is the last actinoid having atomic number 103, lawrencium, symbol is Lr. This particular element has half-life period of 3 minutes. Okay, so here what was the point? The point to be noted was that all actinoids are radioactive in nature. Now let us talk about electronic configurations. If we talk about electronic configuration of actinoids, then which orbitals are occupied? There are 3 orbitals which may be occupied. One is 7s, then 5f, then 6d. Okay, so when we see electronic configuration of all the actinoids, then 7s will be fully filled. It will be 7s2 for all, and then there will be variation of electrons in 6d and 5f orbital. Okay, now 14 electrons are added to 5f. Okay, but in case of thorium, just like we said earlier, that there is absence of electron in 5f orbital. Okay, now just like in case of lanthanides, what was there? There was presence of f0, f7 and f14 orbitals. Similarly, here also there will be few elements for which it will be f0, f7 and f14, because it makes them extra stable. Okay. Now, if we talk about electronic configuration of AM and CM, then it is, for AM it is 5f7 7s2, for CM it is 5f7 6d1 7s2. Okay, although the 5f orbitals resemble the 4f orbitals in their angular part of the wave function, they are not as buried as 4f orbital, and hence 5f electrons can participate in bonding to a far greater extent. Okay, now see, what does it mean? This thing only means that if we talk about reactivity, then in case of lanthanoid there was 4f orbital which was filled, and in case of actinoids there is 5f orbital which is filled. So what they mean to say is that because of the involvement of 5f orbital, it is slightly more away as compared to 4f orbital. So since it is more away from the nucleus, so electrons present in 5f orbital can electrons present in 5f orbital, they can participate in bond formation. Okay, so what is the difference between lanthanoid and actinoids? In case of lanthanoids, 4f orbital is bit inner side, so it cannot participate, its electrons cannot participate freely with the in bond formation. But in case of 5f, it is away from the nucleus as compared to 4f, so electrons present in this can participate in bond formation. Okay, now let us come to ionic sizes. Now just like in case of lanthanoids, we said that there is, in case of lanthanoids that there is lanthanide contraction. Similarly, if we talk about actinoids, there is also decrease in the size of actinoids as we start moving from left to right, and that is also known as actinoid contraction. But in case of lanthanoids, the contraction was very less. If we talk about total contraction, then that was less, near about 30 picometer. But if we talk about contraction in case of actinoids, then that is more. Why that is more? Because electrons are present in 5f orbital, and because of that the shielding effect is very much poor as compared to 4f orbital. So what happens in this case? There is more attractive force of the nucleus, and so contraction is more. Okay. Now let us talk about oxidation state. Now if we see the oxidation state, then just like lanthanoids, here also +3 is the most common oxidation state. Okay, but in addition to +3 oxidation state, they show +4, +5, +6, +7. These oxidation states are also shown. Okay, so here what we can say, that just like in case of lanthanoids, there is +3 oxidation state, and then there is in addition to +3 there is +2 and +4 oxidation state also. But in this case there are many more oxidation states. Okay, there is existence of +5, +6, +7 oxidation state also. Okay, so here more oxidation states are shown. Okay. Okay, now let us discuss about the different characteristics and comparison with lanthanoids. Okay, now when we start comparing, then we should know the different values. We should know now. Okay, first of all, actinoids are highly reactive metals, especially when finely divided. So when we say about actinoids, then they are highly reactive. Okay. Okay, now see, when we talk about general characteristics of lanthanoids and actinoids, then actinoids are highly reactive metals. Means if we take them in finely divided form, we know that when we take any substance in finely divided form, then its surface area increases. So because of increase in surface area, its reactivity increases. So actinoids are highly reactive metals, and when we take in finely divided form, then they become more reactive. Okay. Now if we see their reaction with boiling water, then what happens? They give a mixture of oxide and hydride, and combination with most non-metals takes place at moderate temperatures. So temperature is not required high if they have to combine with non-metals, and if they react with boiling water, then they form a mixture of oxide and hydride. Okay, now these actinoids, they are reactive with hydrochloric acid. Okay, they can react with hydrochloric acid, but with nitric acid their reactivity is low. Their reactivity is low. Why their reactivity is low? Because they develop a protective layer of oxide over them. Just like if you remember, anodizing was there. What was anodizing? Aluminium develops a layer of its oxide which prevents the other aluminium from reaction with any other atmospheric factor. Okay, similarly these actinoids, they develop a protective oxide layer over them, and this prevents them to react with nitric acid, and alkalis, they don't react with them. Okay, now if we talk about their magnetic properties, okay, then their magnetic properties are more complex than those of lanthanoids. In case of lanthanoids, we just said that there is existence of unpaired electrons, so they will be paramagnetic, except few ions which are having fully filled f orbital or vacant f orbital, there was dimagnetism, otherwise they were paramagnetic. But in this case, since they can show there is involvement of 3 orbitals and they can show variable oxidation states, so here we cannot find a regular trend. There is no regular trend. Okay, so individually these are to be studied, that which particular element shows which type of characters. So basically the thing is, if there will be presence of unpaired electron, then that will be paramagnetic. If there is absence of unpaired electron, then it will be diamagnetic. Okay, now if we talk about ionization enthalpy values, now in case of actinides, what is there? There is presence of electron in the 5f orbital, and as we said that 5f orbital is away from the nucleus. So electron is to be removed from 5f. So it means they will be having lower values of ionization enthalpies as compared to lanthanoids. Okay, so the reason is known to you, because electron is to be removed from 5f. In case of lanthanoids, it is to be removed from 4f. So the value of ionization enthalpy for actinides will be lesser, and for lanthanoids it will be more. Okay, now if whatever discussion we have done, in that if we will compare the properties of actinides and lanthanoids, then we will come to conclusion that behavior similar to that of the lanthanoids is not evident until the second half of the actinoid series. Means there are 14 elements, so first 7 elements till there we cannot find the similarity, but after that we can find the similarity. Okay, the actinides and lanthanoids, in after half of the series there is similarity in the properties of lanthanoids and actinoids. Okay, now these were the properties of lanthanoids and actinoids. Now on the basis of whatever we have discussed about F block elements, lanthanoids and actinoids, you need to do these home assignments. Okay, thank you.